The air was humid and the sky was gray. I had boiled peanuts for breakfast from Cairo, Georgia. The air was wet, my face was wetter. The pink flowers along the western window made me feel better. I turned the air conditioner on. Found the note on scented stationery. You were long gone. I had boiled peanuts for breakfast from Cairo, Georgia. I popped the top off the aluminum can. Let the brine slide down my fingers. Man, it was warm. It was warm on my skin. But I felt the cold blast moving on, and I had boiled peanuts for breakfast from Cairo, Georgia. Hi, we're the Mountain Goats. Thank you. So here's the deal. I'm gonna warn you, those of you who don't like long banter, you picked the wrong one to come to. I do feel bad because I have been known to test the patience of people who think they like the long banter. But here's the deal, right? So we decided to play 3 shows. That's a lot. As you know, I don't like to play the same set from night to night. And so, generally speaking, there's a lot of bleed through, but then I got really ambitious and I get sentimental about San Francisco because it was the first town we ever played outside of Southern California. We played at a club called the Thirsty Swede, formerly Nightbreak. It's now probably a building that costs over $1 million. But anyway, so here's the thing. Rachel and me came up, this would have been sometime in '93, I don't even remember what time of year it was. We came up, I did not have any sense of whether anybody was gonna wanna see what I did. And I did not own a guitar strap or have a guitar that plugged in. I had a little sound hole capo. That thing will make your hands bleed and bruise, which is kind of cool. But so I got a bar stool and I sat down on the bar stool and I said, "Hi, we're the Mountain Goats," and I played that song. That's the first song I ever played in San Francisco. And I thought, so then, being kind of pretentious, I don't know if you've noticed, I thought, okay, so what if the first night it was all stuff that somehow was around the theme of beginnings, right? Kind of a new agey sort of concept. And I was like, and then that becomes a challenge to me, is like, do you really have 16, 17 songs worth of legit, this is something that begins something or is new in some way? And then I argue with myself, of course you fucking do. You do that right now. You literal human garbage, do that or you're trash, right? So that's the reason that I'm sitting in a chair now, but then as soon as I got the chair, I'm conflicted. It's like, am I gonna stay seated the whole night like I used to, right? I don't know, right? Because I play so much better when I'm sitting down. It's like a whole different band, right? But at the same time, like I sort of, at this point, my Catholic self is like, no, they paid a lot to get in, you have to stand up. So I think what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna do this after I go over to the piano. Maybe if somebody, Brandon, if you could adjust the mic for standing after I go to the piano, then we can sort of have a kind of a rising arc. That sounds like a plan, bud. See, I have another long story, but I feel that I should probably play another song. This is, there's 2 pages of lyrics there, wow. Cool. first song I wrote for the album that became In League with Dragons, but it was not on the album. We did a pre-production version that was extraordinarily mellow, but it just didn't really belong. And it was the first song that I played of that whole sequence at the sadly departed Tiny Telephone San Francisco's studio during a live Facebook stream with JV manning the Facebook and like freaking out because neither of us had ever seen when you do like a live stream, like all these thumbs up. I didn't see it, right? JV was filming and he was just with his eyes going, dude, it's the craziest. Anyway. But this song is also a very thinly veiled metaphor about when I lived alone in a room in Norwalk with a guitar and was starting to do something that became this, and it's called Hand of Death. Rehearsing for the Tournament of Champions, somebody's going to have to cleanse the temple. Train by moonlight all night. Practice with a blindfold on. Try not to think too hard about the neighbors here on my balcony that overlooks the harbor, preparing to deploy the hand of death. Preparing to deploy the hand of death. Rest among the ruins of old empires. Rise from my heavy sleep at sundown. Byways on my pathways, beckoning. Stay focused on the target. Feel close enough to taste its beating heart. Hungry as a captive of the king, preparing to deploy the hand of death. Preparing to deploy the hand of death. Sure and steady. Almost ready. Remind myself to breathe, heed thou my counsel. Skin and bones and blood and tender flesh. There will be no return from these beginnings. Preparing to deploy the hand of death. Preparing to deploy the hand of death. Big city, wide corner, blue flowers, cold comfort, 56 Fahrenheit, early in the morning. Buses passing by, black smoke in their way. Big surprises, a lot of big surprises. Phones ringing, running away with what Freud said. New morning, world breathing, far, far from home, big ringing in the bones. Whose bones are these? God, please. Feel the pumping, feel the fresh blood pump inside. The city's living, the city's truly living. What's the difference? Running away with what Freud said. I'm not going to explain how all of them tie into the general theme. I think most of you are probably hardcore enough to get it. window face, an ill-kept front yard, plums on the tree, heavy with nectar, prayers to summon our sweet destroying angel, moon stuttering in the sky like film stuck in a projector, and you twin prop airplanes circling loudly overhead, road to the airport, 2 lanes clear, half the whole town gone for the summer, terrible silence coming down here, and you There is no deadline, there is no schedule, there is no plan we can fall back on. The road this far can't be traced. There is no punchline anybody can tack on. There are loose ends by the score. What did I come down here for? Oh, you. Thank you. Oh, that was awesome. At the first Shrimper Fest, I saw a band called Discothecue, and boy, I loved them, and I'm very not shy about telling people when I enjoy what they do. And I went up to the main guys, and it was fucking amazing. Oh, thanks. Are you playing? Yeah, I'm in a band called the Mountain Guts. I'm going to play a song. Actually, where are you from? He says, I'm from Chino. You're from Chino? I have a new song about Chino. So that guy was Peter Hughes, and he had a tape label. And about 6 or 7 months later, I was having a very, very busy winter break, and I wrote about 8 songs. And then I did a Commodore's cover, and I said, hey, you want to release a tape? And he said, sure. You got a label, right? Yeah, I got a label. So here, look, here's my new one. This is the first song on that tape. We both know you're leaving. You just don't want to say it yet. 'Cause you don't want to hurt my feelings. So you gnaw your little holes in the net and you torture me with those big eyes. And you punish me with pity. But I'm going to Cleveland. You say you wanted to strike first, 'cause one of us was leaving. That's what you say, but I've always been real fond of you. So I never would have treated you this way. And you torture me with those big eyes. And you punish me with pity. Yeah, but I'm going to Cleveland. I hear the Cuyahoga calling. Now I know what I was born for. And you say, hey, John, where are you going? But that's not my name anymore. And you torture me with those big eyes. And you punish me with pity. This was not the first Sunset Tree song I wrote, but it was the one where I've told this story probably to you before, certainly I've told it on a couple of stages at some point, that I was having a sort of emotional collapse on tour. I know it comes as a shock that I get myself into a totally emotional state about stuff. But man, I was like really, I have one problem that still happens on tour is like I just lose the ability to sleep as soon as I leave home. And there's nothing for getting you into your dodgy mental health spots like loss of sleep. That is like, that will do the job, right? It will connect you to the stuff that you were trying to ignore. But I'm a songwriter, so that works out for me in the end. Right? You know? And I was still learning that at that point. On this European tour, I'm not sleeping. These drives are like 10 hours, and then there's like 10 people, you know, and and they're standing strategically. They don't want to cluster together, so there's one of them over there. There's one of them over there, you know. And you think, when I get done with this show that nobody really even cares about, but they know that I'll notice if one of them leaves. Then we have to drive 2 hours and get on a ferry to go to England. Right? I still remember, because I was so exhausted, and I listened to a Phil Niblock record on my, yeah, man. Some of y'all don't know about Phil. It was this one where he named everything after vegetables. It has a song called Yam Almost May, and he does drone music, like harmoniums and organs. And it's like 4 in the morning on some ferry to Dover, and I'm sleeping so badly for the most part, and I'm listening to this drone music, and to this day I'm like, thank you, Phil Niblock. I caught 5 minutes of sleep off that, and it was some of the 5 of the greatest sleep minutes I've ever had. Anyway, so we got to England, and I had, at this point, written a couple of lyrics in the van. I wasn't writing songs. I did have one that I never, the lyrics are still around. I always remember that the chord progression went. I don't remember the title of it, but that song did have it was about my first girlfriend who tried to be cool to me when things were getting pretty gnarly in my life when I was 14. And it had the line, "She was gonna be mad as hell when they scraped my brains up out the stairwell." Very, very gnarly song. So I wrote that one in a dressing room in Holland, right? I have no idea how I still remember the riff from it, but right. So I wrote a little song, and then I wrote more lyrics while sitting in a van in Paris, and we got to England, and we had to go to a Peel session. And I had these lyrics that I was writing about all this stuff that had cracked open after my stepfather died, all these things that I was thinking about they weren't suppressed memories, but they were things that were never really on the top boiler, and I was allowing them, or my insomnia was allowing them, to come to where they wanted to go. And we had a Peel session, and Peter was like, "What are we gonna play?" I was like, "Oh, I got some lyrics, I'll write some music for the stuff, and we'll do that." And we did this. Alright, I'm on Johnson Avenue in San Luis Obispo, and I'm 5 years old, I'm 6 maybe. And indications that there's something wrong with our new house. Trip down the wire twice daily, I'm in the living room watching the Watergate hearings while my stepfather yells at my mother, launches a glass across the room, straight at her head, and I dash upstairs to take cover, lean in close to my little record player on the floor. So this is what the volume knob is for. I listen to dance music, dance music. Okay, so look, I'm 17 years old, and you're the last best thing I got going. But then the special secret sickness starts to eat through you. What am I supposed to do? No way of knowing, so I follow you down your twisting alleyways. I find a few cul-de-sacs all my own. There's only one place this road ever ends up, and I don't want to die alone. Let me down, let me down, let me down gently. When the police come to get me, I'm listening to dance music, dance music, yeah. Thank you. I seem to have printed this one out in some largely illegible font. I am who I am. It looked cool at the time, and it still looks cool to me. I found this in the We Shall All Be Healed notebook. And that was the first record I wrote where I was being, I won't say explicitly autobiographical, where I was drawing consciously on personal experiences. And I wrote several songs that were absolutely directly autobiographical. And those are the ones I did not put on the album. There's a couple that are, but this is when I found the lyric, and I knew why I left it off then, because I wasn't ready to share. It's called Rescue Breathing. Soothing sound of traffic from the freeway. Bright white Pomona moon. That 000 that we got in Costa Mesa. Turning golden as a sunrise on the spoon. It was the warmest feeling in the world when the ghost rose in my throat. It matched the sweetest sound you'd ever heard, note for note. You came down to meet me on the floor, splashing that cold water on my head, holding my eyelids open with your thumbs, bringing me back from the dead. It was the warmest feeling in the world, a crystal clear signal reaching from the station. There was no tenderness, no good night kiss, just mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. I had a blanket wrapped around my shoulders. You had a dream of all the oceans in your eyes. No thing on earth could quite nail our coffin shut. Every time that we went under, we would rise. It was the warmest feeling in the world, and you were the warmest thing to walk its surface, easing me painlessly all the way down to the furnace, all the way into the furnace. Thank you. I feel so weird. One of the other things that I did to preserve the origins and beginnings idea is that show at the Thirsty Swede. I performed in the same clothes I was wearing that day. I didn't change clothes. I remember right, like Rachel did. She changed to a cool dress. I was like, I don't know, I got a shirt. Got my cowboy boots. So I normally don't wear street clothes on stage, but then I tried it on TV earlier this year, and it was kind of like, it felt very transgressive. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not just gonna wear these. I don't care. So that's, yeah. I checked into a bargain price room on La Cienega, gazed out through the curtains at the parking lot, went down to the corner store just before nightfall in my bare feet, black tarry asphalt, soft and hot. And when I came back, I sped out my supplies on the counter by the sink, looked myself right in the eyes. St. Joseph's baby aspirin, Bartles and James, and you, or your memory. Ducked behind the drapes when I saw the moon begin to rise. Gathered up my sweet things and I switched off the light. And down there in the dark I could see the real truth about me. As clear as day, Lord, if I make it through tonight, I will mend my ways and walk the straight path to the end of my days. St. Joseph's baby has spread Bartles and James and you, or your memory. Thank you. But I should have known when I started fucking around with the D and the I should have known. It's like, nah, you will get too into listening to it and you will get lost, right? You'll be sitting there, oh, what else could I do? A G7? Not quite. No. Was there something else that was? No, not that. Oh yeah. See, that's how they get you. Best ever death metal band out of Denton. A couple of guys they've been friends since grade school. One was named Cyrus, the other was Jeff. They would practice twice a week in Jeff's bedroom. The best ever death metal band out of Denton. Never did settle on a name, but the top three contenders after weeks of debate were Satan's Fingers and the Killers and the Hospital Bombers. Jeff and Cyrus believed in their hearts that they were headed for stage lights and Learjets and fortune and fame. So in script that made prominent use of a pentagram, they would stencil their drum heads and their guitars with their names. And this was how Cyrus got sent off to the school where they told him that he'd never be famous. And that was why Jeff, in the letters he would write to his friend, helped develop a plan to get even. When you punish a person for dreaming his dream, don't expect him to thank or forgive you. The best ever death metal band out of Denton will in time both outpace and outlive you. Hail Satan! Hail Satan! Tonight, hail Satan! Hail sweet prince of all flesh! Hail, 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 hail! In this sense, also, this set resembles the earlier sets that, and even all the way up to 2005, when we went to Brisbane, Australia, and opened with This Year. That turned out to be a terrible mistake. Because everybody got really excited, and it was really this is a very gauche and horrible phrase that I don't use in daily discourse, but it has its place to describe some events, and to say that a person has shot their wad. Didn't matter what we did after that, everybody already got what they had come for. You know? know many of you, there's the Vegas odds on me using that phrase or not tonight were very, very, very long, so I congratulate those of you who put down a $5 on that. I've really set the table for this very sentimental song. Now you have prompted me to tell you another story. There's a Grateful Dead show from Boston in '68. I believe a Boston Tea Party show, I forget. It's my favorite piece of stage banter by anybody anywhere. I was studying it today. It's like really with great, because one thing, I mean, I love the Grateful Dead, but their stage banter reveals them to be kind of miserable dicks a lot of the time. They really, they seem to be saying in their stage banter, y'all are an inconvenience. We're trying to do a thing up here, and you're in the way, right? Which is hilarious to me, because that's not how, for me, this is a thing that we do together, and that's why when people like focus on my physical appearance, like, no, I'm a member of the crowd. I happen to have the instrument, so we're doing it together. So, but yeah. So Jerry, they play like he was a friend of mine. They play this incredibly sensitive version of "He Was a Friend of Mine" to open the set, which is an amazing thing. It's a very slow, beautiful song, loping country song. And it takes like 9 minutes, and it's a really amazing groove to open. They had one song that people generally knew them by in those days, and it was a folk song called "Morning Dew" that Tim Hardin had popularized in the folk movement. And so they play his "He Was a Friend of Mine," and it's shimmering, right? And then somebody in the back goes, "Morning Dew!" And Jerry, like, he does not miss a beat. So I want to single somebody out here. I'm going to play an E chord, and then I want you. Right? Are you ready? Yeah, you. Yeah. To yell for "Morning Dew." Morning Dew! No. Fuck you. You got to stick around to hear "Morning Dew." But I realized while studying the tape of this today that it's a shared bit of misanthropic banter, that Jerry says no, and then somebody else, possibly Mickey Hart, says "fuck you." No, Mickey Hart's not there at that point. Who's fuck? Phil. Right? I think Phil, like they team up. No, fuck you. You gotta stick around and hear "Morning Dew." Now I have doubly set the table for an incredibly sentimental song. The sets used to always have bunches of songs that nobody had ever heard before. It's something I kind of miss about the old days. Maybe the only thing I really miss is that now if you play a new song, everybody else in the whole fucking world gets to hear it tomorrow, which to me is a bummer, right? And so it just sucks so bad. Because you're not ready to share it. And this one in particular, I prepared this for you guys. It'll probably never be played again. To my mind, that means it should not be recorded. See, I can do stuff. San Francisco 1. I know that song. I wrote that song. I leave the house as soon as it gets light outside, like a prisoner breaking out of jail. And I steal down to Business Highway 15501, like I had a bounty hunter on my tail. And somebody stops to pick me up, but he drops me off just down the block and along the highway, where the empty spirits breathe, wild sage growing in the weeds. Walk down the soft shoulder and I count my steps, headed vaguely eastward, the sun in my eyes, and I lose my footing and I skin my hands, breaking my fall. I laugh to myself, I look up at the skies, well then I think I hear angels in my ears, like marbles being thrown against a mirror. And along the highway, where unlucky stray dogs bleed, wild sage growing in the weeds. On some days I don't miss my family, on some days I do. Some days I think I'd feel better if I tried harder. Most days I know it's not true. I lay down right where I fell. I had cold grass in my face. I could hear the traffic, the rhythm of the tide, and I stare at the scrape on the heel of my hand until it doesn't sting so much, until all the blood's dried. And when somebody asks me, hey, are you okay? I don't know what to say. And along the from cast off from innumerable seeds, wild sage growing in the weeds. Thank you. I hung pictures of you from every lamppost in town. As the humidity climbed into numbers that I don't can't repeat, the air was heavy and the sky was alive, and the Pacific Coast starlight wasn't due until 11:45. I thought about Teenagers in mini trucks coming around every corner. Man, you could taste the adrenaline coming out through their skin. I came to the well-lit doorway of a sheet music store. I saw my face reflected on the glass, sat down in the doorway, and I settled in. I thought about how cold you must be. I thought about things I thought that I'd soon be forgetting. I thought of you up in Canada as the lightning storms lit up all downtown Reading. Breaking the signal till it's totally unreadable. Drinking the dregs, eating the utterly inedible. We do what we do, all for you. All dressed up, black hat and white cape. Slowly circling the train. And ready for the future. Ready for the world about to come. Shooting the sequel before the treatment even gets finished. Sending numbers off the monojects as our slight returns diminish. We are what we are. Get in the goddamn car. Smiling faces, flawlessly rehearsed. We are sleek and beautiful, and we are cursed. Ready for the future. Ready for the sparkling world about to come. About to come. About to come. I mean, most of the hardcores already know the story of this song, but I think for people who don't know the deal with the chorus, they should know. It's in Irish Gaelic. Not the whole song. That would be even more disgraceful than it is, because I have played this song in Ireland where everybody speaks Irish Gaelic. And they go, I don't know what you're talking about. And I played them the song, I learned it from them. Oh yeah, no, I can see how that sounds like that to you. I accept that I cannot pronounce the chorus of this song. I think it was Make 'em and Clancy, I forget, the Wolf Tones. is about drinking. It has one of the greatest rhymes of all time in it. I had learned, not my song, the Wolf Tone song. I had learning. I wasn't such a genius, I'm thinking. But I soon passed the bar and the whole field of drinking. And the song is about a bold claim for a person who likes to drink that other people drink milk. I drink whiskey. Which to me, when I hear it, I say, ooh. I mean, it's good to have a little whiskey now and then, but if you are arguing that it's replacing staple foods, like water and milk, that's a different kind of woo. It's not, if people are saying woo to that means they want you to die. So the chorus goes, Banya and Moe Sam Gauna and the juice of the barley for me. Right? This was the first time I ever put some of my youthful experiences directly in song instead of cloaking them in metaphors that people wouldn't be able to figure out. He hit me right in the face. I drove the Falcon uptown, hung out in the library parking lot. The swelling will never go down. A pint of Hiram Walker's in the lining of my father's old corduroy coat. Big plans hatching in my brain and a big ugly lump in my throat. I went up to Harvey Mudd and I played pinball till I didn't want to hurt anyone. Polished off all my cheap whiskey, stepped out into the California sun, singing by none more is some Ghana and the juice of the barley for me. Singing by none more is some Ghana and the juice of the barley for me. My thirst carried me up the coast, where it only got sharper, goddammit, in a small room that got even smaller, a block away from the Willamette. Had a couple of things on my mind, a couple of problems to think through, and I drank till I couldn't see straight anymore, until there was nothing to drink to. There was nowhere I needed to go, and nowhere I wanted to be. And my window looked out upon nothing, and nothing looked right back at me, singing by none more is some Ghana and the juice of the barley for me. Singing by none more is some Ghana and the juice of the barley for me. The last white slabs of snow melted off 7 weeks ago, and the geese are headed north again through the tightening sky, and I can feel my heart in my throat again. New onions growing underground. Cows head gingerly out of the barn, and when they see that the ground is warm, they pick up a little speed And it makes me feel so good, and then I feel it rushing down my throat. Fresh blood I head out onto the earth whose cold heart is melting. I don't think that I can stand it. Springtime's coming, that means you'll be coming back around. New onions growing underground. Underground. Thank you very much. Fog lifts from the harbor, dawn goes down today. An agent crests the shadows of a nearby alleyway. Piles of broken bricks, signposts on the path. Every moment points toward the aftermath. Yeah. Bells ring in the tower, wolves howl in the hills. Chalk marks show up on a few high windowsills. Spies from Imperial China wash in with the tide. Every battle heads toward surrender on both sides. And I am coming home to you with my own blood in my mouth. And I am coming home to you if it's the last thing that I do. Fuck, what is the first line of the third verse? Oh, I think that was actually the second verse. Yeah, I can still make it work. Sailors straggle back from their nights out on the town. Hopeless urchins from the city gather around. Oh, that was the Spies. I totally mixed everything up. Ships loose from their mooring. Oh, well, that's the end. I know that part.
Capsize and then they're gone.
I know, that's the end. No, I'm telling you guys, I know the deal with this one. You just there's too many images and you get distracted, right? By your own, especially once you hear the wolves, if you're me, then you start thinking about wolves and you have a gig. You're like, what about, there's wolves and there's a harbor. It's a very funny town. Like, ships loose from their moorings, capsize and then they're gone. Sailors with no captains watch a while and then they move on. And an agent crests the shadows and I head in her direction. All roads lead toward the same blocked intersection. I am coming home to you with my own blood in my mouth. And I am coming home to you if it's the last thing that I do. Thank you. That is what I get, because there was only one more song on the set list. I was like, I'm not done yet. I'll do. I was sitting there going, oh, what else has a first on it? What is the first song on Heretic Pride? Yeah. Right. That's what I get. This is the last song on the set list.
Oh.
Walk me out in the morning, dew, my home. 15 minutes later, that guy gets beat up. Sad scene tonight at Swedish American as once beloved Grateful Dead anthem became a cause of gore. People, this was really a special night. Thank you so much for coming. When I finally got to do a full-length album that was released on a compact disc, I was like, well, you better put all the good songs on it because you don't know if you're going to get to do this again. That's why there's 19 songs. Like, get them all on there. Get the ones, that, even if they just have one good part, like the one about the flies, put that one there too, right? You know, if there's one good riff, put the one good riff on there. And I was like, when I was going to sequence, I was like, well, you better start with one that everybody's going to like scorch everybody's hair. This is that one. The morning comes to a stuttering halt. The cool breeze it blows, that's somebody's fault. The summer heat tries to burn through, and I look over toward you, but something's happening. Morning glories climb the wall, and you speak in a slow drawl. I'm trying to piece together what you're saying, but the birds are screeching and the hounds are baying. I don't remember there being any hounds around here. We lean back, we clink our glasses, raise the drinks to our thirsting mouths, and thick as molasses, ice-cold vodka eases in as the low-pressure system brings the breezes in, how they sashay, how they pirouette above you. The only thing I know is that I love you, and I'm holding on. Yeah! Good night.
We better. John left? Imagine if he left. Imagine, like, fuck this, I'm tired. I played a lot of really fast strumming songs. I had to think real hard way back. It's an old Mountain Goat set. Did he do encores on his first Mountain Goat set? I don't think he did.
I did about half a Sax Rohmer one, man.
Yeah, we all fucked up there. But he fucking, so imagine that. Imagine he just leaves. He doesn't come back. It's an old school show. He doesn't come back.
I got 2 more shows to play, man. Again, finally, keeping in with my theme of doing things like I used to do them back in the earliest days, I'm going to play a song you don't know. That's another song I would ask you, just as a favor to me, to not upload anywhere. Just leave it alone. Don't film it. Just let's do the thing. Yes, boys. I broke free on a Saturday morning. I put the pedal to the floor, headed north on Mills Avenue, and listened to the engine roar. My broken house behind me, all good things ahead. A girl named Kathy wants a little of my time. 6 cylinders underneath the hood, crashing and kicking. Yeah, listen to the engine whine. I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I played video games in a drunken haze. I was 17 years young. Hurt my knuckles punching the machines. The taste of Scotch bitch on my tongue, yeah. And then Kathy showed up and we hung out, trading sweets from the bottle, all bitter and clean, locking eyes, holding hands, twin high maintenance machines. I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I drove home in the California dusk. I could hear the alcohol inside of me hum. Picture the look on my stepfather's face, ready for the bad things to come. I downshifted as I turned into the driveway. The motor's screaming out, it was stuck in second gear. The scene ends badly, as you might imagine, in a cavalcade of anger and fear. Well, there will be feasting and dancing in Jerusalem next year. I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me. If it kills me. If it... What are you saying? Did you say Nirvana? Why are you saying Nirvana? Can you clarify this request for me? I don't understand it. It's like, because it is like, this doesn't seem like the show where the guy gets drunk and then says, like, you know, Nashville hot chicken, and you go, I don't know what you're saying, sir. You seem to be drunk. I don't know any songs by Nirvana. They were from Washington, and I don't really play that kind of music. just for you. And I don't know the words to this song, let's be real about it. Somebody better get your phone out, I'm gonna need you. You must try to lead a good life. You must do unto others as you would have them do, so that when you die, you'll find golden boy peanuts waiting in the afterlife for you. There are no Pan-Asian supermarkets down in hell, so you can't find golden boy peanuts. There are no Pan-Asian supermarkets down in hell, so you can't find golden boy peanuts. Many people have observed. People do. It's pretty awesome. Like, I will sing about something, and says, does that exist? It existed, for sure. And they will devote a lot of time and energy to try to determine whether or not it still exists anywhere. There are no golden boy peanuts left in this world as far as anyone can tell. But if I can just get spiritual with you for a moment, the song says that in hell, the place of eternal suffering and torment, the place where no happiness can be found, that's the place where no golden boy peanuts are. But it's also been further observed that we now all, you and I, your parents, your friends, your enemies, strangers, all live in a place where there are no such peanuts. What's the If thine enemy oppresseth you, you must let him oppress you some more, so that when you die, you'll find what? No, not golden boy peanuts. No, just that guy. What's that? So that when you go shopping, that's right. Because as we know, what greater eternal fate could await us than to express our consumer preferences? So when you go shopping in paradise, you'll find those magnificent peanuts from Singapore with the drawing of the young Chinese farmer, the rising sun behind him, gazing at you from the shelves. If we're gonna find eternity in paradise, we're gonna have to watch ourselves. I remember this part. You must give to the march of dimes. You must be on guard against wickedness at all times, and you will find that your efforts have brought you great joy when your shades down there munching on that golden boy. There are no Pan-Asian supermarkets down in hell, so you can't find golden boy peanuts there. But the streets of heaven are lined with shells, and there's billboards of the golden boy everywhere. There are no Pan-Asian supermarkets down in hell, so you can't find golden boy peanuts. There are no Pan-Asian supermarkets down in hell, so you can't find golden boy peanuts. Yeah. Do you know, the main thing I remember about high doses it has a lot of words. And it's been played live like once. So it also has a G and a D minor in it. So that's kind of cool. Goes to a minor 5. That's a little different. Those are the only 2 things I can tell you about that song. I'm gonna pick one more to do. No, I want to do something in C because I opened with something in C. Oh, people, I'm judging you. None of you have called out for anything in C. Why don't you just settle in? This is a piece by Terry Riley. It's called In C. It's a little modern composition joke for you there. So. Sir, you'll never know how close you are to getting that request. But shower, the reason you can't have it, besides my feeling generally that it's good to want things, so that you won't feel like there's no point to anything. But shower is in E minor. C minor I can't finger, I can only play it as a bar, and because shower is built around this, you can't do that on the bar. I can't do that with a C bar. So it's not gonna happen.
Playing.
I have no idea what that guy said.
He's playing.
G. D. G. Just like, what's that? I don't know. It has a capo, so I don't know what key that is. Attention, all pickpockets is in C. Anybody who wanted to hear it froze me instead, I'm sorry. In comes you, not the same person I knew. Looking roughly the same, but something hungry getting restless in your brain. Hey, hey, hey. So there I go, not the same person that you used to know. Peeking through the fisheye lens at you, and the cornet blows where the oleander grows, and us two, not the same people that our old friends knew. So down the street you head in the high summer heat. White long sleeve Oxford pushed up to just beneath your elbows. Black pumps and a medium length black skirt, eating a path through the dark damp earth. I hope they've got plenty of money where you're going. And the cornet blows where the oleander grows, and us two, not the same people that our old friends knew. Thank you, good night.
old Johnny D. Gonna put on a show.